if you flip the situation, if I took Taylor Heineke and put him with the New York Giants, and then I took Daniel Jones and put him with some of the skill position in Washington, I truly believe that we see a different version of Daniel Jones. I don't ever think Daniel Jones is going to be a great player. I don't think he has the physical ability to go be a great player in today's NFL at the quarterback spot. But I think Taylor Heineke, for the solid player that he is much more limited than a Daniel Jones is. Daniel Jones is just in the worst situation in the NFL when it comes to quarterback play.
You. Here's the problem with you, and I'm not even addressing the Molly thing because Molly did everything but stand up out of her chin because she get emotional about her New York Giants, and I'm just not gonna. I can't say anything to Molly because I say the Giants uniforms don't look that great. Molly's ready to be apoplectic. I mean, I'm just not gonna even go there. Here's the deal.
Good.
Here's the reality of the situation.
You know better.
You noticed, Dan, and you noticed too, Molly.
What?
I'm just looking at some of these cats on their roster, right? Sterling Shepard, can he play?
He can play.
Galladay, can he play?
Solid player.
Kyle Rudolph's your backup tight end now. You got him from Minnesota. We know he can play, right? This kid, Kadarius Toney, out of Florida. I mean, this brother, listen, they're talking about the potential, how electrifying he could potentially be as a playmaker, right? Yeah. Did it ever occur to y'all, because I want you to understand something. I'm not trying to act like Taylor Heineke is so special.
Sure.
I'm denigrating Daniel Jones based on his penchant for turnovers. What I'm saying to you, and it's a question more so than anything else, Dan, is it possible that the New York Giants are as archaic as they are because they don't believe in their quarterback? Is that possible?
No. I think they are as archaic as they are because their offensive coordinator, Jason Garrett, doesn't know anything else. This is the same offense that he ran 15 years ago. It's the same offense that he ran with Tony Romo. Stephen A., I'm with you. We see Daniel Jones relatively the same. Okay, gives the ball away way too much. I want him to play as smart as he is. But it's really difficult to sit here and crush him as a player. When I watch that offense, and I'm literally being honest here, it's the worst offense in the NFL scheme-wise. There's not a single moment where the players are put at an advantage because of the scheme. They're often put as at a disadvantage. I think if I'm taking the players and just removing them from situations, I still believe Daniel Jones is better. But to your point, it should not be this close. He was the 6th pick of the draft. Taylor Heineke's a journeyman that's been on 4 different teams. But Daniel Jones, I still think, is a better player.
Dan, we got to go to break quick, but real quick, I just want to know this for the Giants because something has to happen. If somebody had to be cut, who is it at this point for you? Who are you pointing the finger at? Is it Gettleman for drafting him? Is it Jason Garrett? Like, what are you doing if you are the So Stephen A. saying it's Garrett right now. Like, what are you doing if they get beat down tonight?
I agree with Stephen A. I'm moving on from Jason Garrett. Now, maybe Freddie Kitchens is the answer, who had some moments when he came in with Baker Mayfield, but then he was the head coach. He was terrible. There's a difference between being a good head coach and a good play caller and a good offensive mind. I think it's Jason Garrett.
Gettleman is gone at the end of the season if the Giants don't do something this year. He's on his way out. John Mara, you listen to him coming into the season. It's clear they're going to make change. They ain't tolerating this so much longer. Okay, we understand that. I think their record like now under Gettleman is like 15-34, Dan, if I remember correctly. It's like 15-34.
It's bad.
John Mara's not tolerating that any longer. But based off of what Dan is saying, Jason Garrett has to go if this offense remains as predictable. And there's nothing about Joe Judge that says he's averse to change. Which is why what you're saying kind of surprises me because I'm thinking it's the limitations of Daniel Jones that has them this way because they didn't acquire all of this talent to be as predictable as you say they are.
And I know we got to go, Molly. I think it should be the flip in New York. Because I don't think that they should try to put limitations on Daniel Jones. I really think because of his athleticism, they should unleash him a little bit, but they try to box him. Molly, Giants fans can sit at home tonight and know exactly where Daniel Jones is going to be in the pocket every single snap. They don't move him at all for a guy who's a good athlete. I agree, Stephen A. If they don't play well tonight, they have to look at it because they got to win, to Stephen A.'s point. They have to look at the offensive coordinator spot. The three of us can put together a better offense by next week easily.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.